The dialysis na rin. Si Albert. Katrabaho ko sa W ko sin dati.
Share ko lang to.
If we allow greed and self-interest and ambition to rule us, then the greater good. In my inaugural address 4 years ago, I said that no leader, pamilya, over
Yan.
92.2 million beneficiaries
Good morning!
receive subsidies
Live tayo.
conditional cash transfer.
Gipitan ko siya ng buhok.
We also made available tertiary education and universal health care, public utility,
Okay, ganito po, maggupit ng buhok.
forgiven assistance to the unpaid taxes.
Ganito po magkidnap.
That some drivers did not receive any assistance at all.
Ito yung idea ko eh.
I have directed
Ano yan, Facebook?
the SWD and
Ano
DLD
diba?
to look into this.
Wala pa.
I welcome the passage
Tara.
of the law postponing the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan election. The postponement saved much needed government funds and ensured the implementation of projects under the current barangay official. In the hindsight, it also saved us from holding the polls while we dared and continue to deal with the pandemic. The Malasakit Centers
Ba?
Act has
Road na
proven
bigla.
to be a great help
Wala
for
man.
less fortunate citizens.
Asan na ito?
Needing
Ito.
medical
Ha?
services.
Alam mo na ha?
Ano number to?
One-stop
Sabi na ata patingin.
platform in government hospitals. We commend the initiative and work of
Sige,
Senator
mamaya na
Bongo
natin i-adjust.
in this regard, as well as other significant pieces of legislation as of today.
Pisa mo rito sa
There
baba ha?
are
Yung
75 Malasakit centers serving Filipinos all over the country. These centers will be a great help in ensuring that
sa
our
baba ho, sa patilya.
people remain healthy and resilient.
Relax lang, diretso mo lang na ganun.
challenging times. The salary and standardization law of 2019 included
Tas mo
the
pang konti.
salaries of civilian
Okay,
government.
tas mo pang konti.
I
Dito
hope
ba na?
that this law will inspire our government workers to
Yeah.
perform better and
Yun.
encourage young, brilliant citizens to join public service. I appreciate the law of
Tatalsik talaga
establishing
yun.
the National Academy of Sport. We can now give our deserving students
Basta
athletes
pantay siya ha?
the training and the support they need to excel in the chosen fields of endeavor. With the commitment of the members of Congress,
Tignan mo yung ano ha, baka puno. Ganunin mo. Off mo tapos yun.
the FISBOS or the Philippine Sports Commission and the Philippine Olympic Committee are overbound together with our ambition
Second time kong gagawin to. Meron ba? Meron ba na
the 30th
Wala.
Southeast Asian Games.
Wala.
Our
Mga
athletes
plastic
will
kong kaibigan dyan.
more than that,
Ba?
we fostered pride, patriotism, genuine sportsmanship, and camaraderie in our South Asian.
Mas umpisa mo sa ilalim.
Ito yung number 7 niya. Dito yun. No?
Oo. Tapos mamaya pa konti. Na number 3 natin.
To our business community and the general public. We assure you that the landmark ease of doing business and efficient government service delivery act has been gaining momentum. We are closer to eliminating over-regulation in government service.
Aray, dahan-dahan. Huwag mo pa kakadikdik naman.
Processing,
May
including
nanonood na.
consular services, processing of building and business permit,
Ito rin.
and the
Oh.
services of overseas
Kalimutan ko na.
Filipinos
Bah,
and seafarers were streamlined. Passports and
Ganun lang,
driver's
hanggang
license
baba.
validity were lessened to ease the burden of the public. We received a PBB plus
Antay dito.
credit rating despite
tapos ito yung likod, ipantay mo lang siya sa tenga
credit
dito.
rating downgrade and negative outlook will be revisions in your worldwide. The Japan credit rating agency upgraded us from BBB plus to A minus last month. Meanwhile, Moody's has affirmed and maintained the country's ratings at BB2, Baa2, rather. Some get to the right, mine, my side is not so good as me. Our fiscal position is strong.
Paano ko tumahahin sa likod mo? Number 7 din ba?
Oo, tapos mamaya nipisa mo konti.
System robust. We are in a better position to weather the crisis caused by COVID-19 global pandemic. We have accomplished significant infrastructure projects
Wala,
under
kanina
the
na.
Build program. I will not dwell lengthily on the nitty-gritty of our infrastructure accomplishments. Now, let's eyeball it. Instead, we will release a comprehensive written report of our collective milestones and the details of accomplishments that define us, that perseverance, patience, determination will help us move forward even in the most difficult times. We issued last year the Executive Order number 100, establishing the Diversity and Inclusion Program as national program of the government. We want to end discrimination
Basta ang hagod mo, umpisa mo lagi sa
on the
ilan.
basis of race, disability, ethnicities, sexual orientation, and gender identity and expression, and other character traits. My administration always believed that freedom from illegal drugs, terrorism, corruption, and criminality is itself a human violation. Part of our effort to uphold human rights is protection of the rights of children and the right against discrimination. Every last year, I signed Executive Order number 92, creating the National Council Against Child Labor. Government efforts to protect
Tama na, sobrang taas na.
the rights of children will be amplified to prevent, reduce, and eliminate any form
Sobrang taas
of
na.
child labor. Our achievements
Later.
along this line
Later.
will have been extolled by an overwhelming number of fellow member states in the UN Human Rights Council during its recently held 44th
Eh, pantay mo lang ha.
last June. Rest assured that we will not dodge our
Uy,
obligation
bat?
for human rights.
Wow!
My countrymen, there are lessons to be learned from the coronavirus pandemic. It jolted us to realize that gains made after spending so much planning, effort, cost, and time could diminish considerably and quickly for reasons beyond one's anticipation. that it is much easier to destroy than build, that in a crisis of national proportion that affects every aspect of human life,
Sumupranta siya ata dito sa kabila.
to have the support
Ha?
and cooperation of the people if it is to succeed.
Mamaya, ninipisan na lang dapat yan. Nipis na
There
lang.
are people
Okay na
who
itaas yan.
Yun o, may nakita ko yung dito.
Nipis lang.
but show none themselves.
Okay na?
That
Ngayon,
life,
kami na yan.
after all,
Number 3
is
naman.
fickle, like the weather.
Ang segunting.
Oh, hindi, number 3 mo muna. Pero pagsimula dito, hanggang dito lang. Huwag mo siyang isasagad sa taas.
Ah,
The
nandito lang.
global
Oh.
community.
Dito.
While
Ganun
I
din.
am aware that the
Paikot.
road toward
Dito ay
a
ilalim.
comfortable life would all
Oo. Pero pag ganun
be
din.
far easy.
Yan. Parang layered siya nun. Tapos mo pang konti.
Pandemic had not
Yan.
occurred,
Ah.
and around the rest of the world we
Yeah.
suffered. The global
Sige, kuhanin mo ilalim.
social
Salukin
economic
mo.
impact of COVID-19 pandemic has been unprecedented. Yet, in the throes of this global health emergency,
Ikuto mo na.
we have been able to withstand the headwinds generated by this coronavirus. In this regard, I would like to express my gratitude to all those who made possible this steady
Huwag sobrang taas,
supply
ha?
of food,
Gitna lang.
water, basic utilities over household. And the provisions of basic social services and financial assistance to our people. Our profound gratitude goes to everyone
Hanggang ilalim para
keep
magpante.
our country's food supply chain running. The valiant soldiers, policemen, and security guards to get peace and order in our community. The dedicated personnel of Territory Essential Establishment Operational. You showed us kindness and selflessness. You give us strength. You risk your own life to serve the greater good in keeping the Filipino spirit of Bayanihan. I also thank the men and women of the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases and the National Task Force Against COVID-19 for all the countless hours spent to keep the pandemic in check and for all
pag
the
sobrang ano
efforts
naman.
made to ensure the safety of our people.
O, diba? Ganun lang
Let
siya.
me also recognize the efforts
Basta
of the
seven,
local
tsaka three.
government
Oo.
units
Basta kailangan, ano lang siya.
and initiated
Kasi pag
their
sobrang
own
satsat,
response
pangit na
measures to contain the effects of COVID-19
Ayan na.
and its
Wala.
impact to their constituents have been impact to its constituents. The shadow says it's
ginamit
a
ko yung-
failure.
Ginamit mo.
Ay,
I know exactly the difficulties you are undergoing. I pray that the officials of each
Binigay mo ng buong
STU
box.
in our country, from the barangay to the autonomous region, would set aside partisan
pantay
politics,
rin siya doon.
Dito lang.
disinterest in
Huwag sagad.
what is right and good.
Yan, yan. Ganun lang.
Likewise, I likewise issue Executive Order Number 104, which imposed ceilings on retail prices of
Yeah.
at least 133 drugs and medicines,
Oh,
and directed
mataas na. Hindi na naman siya pantay.
of the retail prices of others. This proved
Wow!
providential
Bishop lang ah.
now that we are facing a
oh.
pandemic.
Ngayon,
To everyone who helped us in
Kailangan mo
this
siyang
time of great need.
nipisan.
Maraming
Ding ding! I got Tito's hair. Wow! Bat? Oy, 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 oy. Tito Scissor, danger.
of a nation.
Isaksak mo muna doon eh. Ito siya. Tapos na, di ba? Ninipisan mo na lang.
Ah.
Isaksak mo muna yung charge mo.
Push ka ng charge mo. Nasira ito eh.
10 hours ang charge niyan.
Ano charge?
Pag yan, nalobat na naman ulit.
Palulubat yan.
Talaga, mapakialam ka talaga.
Other considerations according
Okay na ba?
to experts.
Mamaya, ayusin niya pag nunipis
Ah,
na.
hindi ko pa ulit.
Oo.
That
Saksak mo muna.
prevented as much as 1.3 to 3.5 million infections. To me, even if the numbers are much lower, it would still be
Tulad ng ginawa mo ngayon, yung pahabang ganun.
the sacrifice we made.
Kasi yung gunting
Buhay
natin.
muna bago lahat.
Ito, suklay.
Hindi, may sakla naman na gusto.
We initially encountered difficulties
Para?
Patayo, yung ginagano.
testing capacity.
Tigawat ako sa
We now have 93 accredited testing
Yeah.
laboratories nationwide. And we are aiming to conduct 1.4 million tests by the end of July and ensure a quick turnaround time of 40 to 72 hours. Under the Social Amelioration Program, we allotted 2.5 billion to 2.5 billion for poor and low-income households who were affected during this pandemic. To thrive on a no work, no pay.
Tigawat ko.
Admittedly, our implementation of the Social Amelioration Program was not perfect, and some opportunities turned crisis into opportunity. We will catch up with you.
Aray, di pa kasi tapos.
Sumigaw. Malibak ko.
Patapos
We
kasi.
came up with the COVID-19 Adjustment Measures Program, extended financial assistance to over 650,000 affected individuals in employment, to displaced marginal workers through the TUPAD project.
Malik.
Our indigent senior citizens were also provided
Buding
credit
ding.
stipend for the rest of the semester of the year current year. This health emergency stretched government resources to
Pero nga ito,
experience.
okay na ba ito na?
Nipisan mo.
In response to the office of the President, work closely with Congress for the quick passage of the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. May I again reiterate my thanks to you, the men and women of Congress, for the effort you invested in passing that law. I hope that we can get some of the same treatment of
Mapupuno ng buhok to pag umalis dito.
purpose
Inying.
and the fastness
Not here.
to support the passage of the Bayanihan Recover to act as one, which is supplement funds for recovery and response against the impact of COVID-19 pandemic.
Ah, thank you. Give me tita.
We must facilitate
Tito.
the country's economic recovery. I call on Congress to fast track the passage of the proposed measure, such as the corporate recovery and tax incentives enterprises or CREATE Act. This immediately cuts the corporate income levy from the current 30 to 25% and give government flexibility to grant a combination of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, among others. The financial institutions strategic transfer first up will set up mechanisms allowing banks and other financial institutions to dispose of and transfer non-performing assets and loans to asset management companies similar to the special purpose vehicles. Our economic managers have seen infrastructure investment as an effective tool to help spur high growth, attract investments, create jobs, and achieve financial inclusion for all Filipinos. The DBP has resumed the construction of the North Luzon Expressway Harbor Link, the NLEX, SLEX connector, the Cavite-Laguna Expressway, the Metro Manila Skyway Stage 3, the R1 Bridge Project, the Tarlac-Pangasinan-La Union Expressway Project, and the Subic Freeport Expressway Project, to name a few. To realize the maximum benefit from the country's
Okay siya na.
investment,
Nice.
infrastructure projects under the Build
Nanonood ah.
program
Live chat.
capital intensive
Hindi ako makapag-live chat.
springboard for the country's swift
Trip talaga
recovery
ito.
pandemic.
Ito ako makapag-live dito.
They are economic benefits. Economic benefits to be distributed to all corners of the country and to sustainable
Yun.
stability in the urban centers,
Kamingay.
particularly Manila. The Tesla launched online mode
Ganda pa ang
of
gupit.
livelihood and skills training.
Gupit Bishop.
There are 71 free online training to help upskill trainees with the right opportunities.
Pantayin niyo lang siya para meron siyang layer.
I asked CESGA to come up with special training programs to retool our OFWs so they can find employment opportunities here and at home. For scholarship programs for the qualified dependents of our OFW. I direct the Department of Agriculture and DEI to come up with the agribusiness and entrepreneurship projects to help displaced OFWs rebuild their livelihood. Further, I asked the Land Bank and other government financial institutions to continue providing low interest loans to our OFW. Sa mga kababayan ko na naghihirap sa ibang bansa, nandito na ang inyong gobyerno para matulungan kayo at inyong mga pamilya, lalo na sa panahon ito. The government will intensify its efforts to help businesses, especially micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, by providing responsive government assistance and services capitalization.
Kabisado ko na yung buhok
and
nito,
business
kaya alam ko
operations
na.
support as we adapt to the next normal.
May nag-chat?
Nanawagan po ako
Wala
sa
naman.
ating mga lessons. Nanawagan po ako sa ating mga lessons. Malasakit at bayanihan po ang
Nakikinig kami ng
ang
sona.
pairalin natin ngayon. This is not the time to drive away leases. During normal times, they were the primary source of your income stream. Now, it's time to be fair and compassionate.
Nakikita ko rito.
Come up with an amenable arrangement with your tenants. Huwag po natin silang
Di ba?
pagkabuyan, tanggalin ang tubig, kuryente at bubong Commercial establishments are requested to give grace periods to allow deferment of payments, especially for MSMEs that are forced to close down during the quarantine period. Let us help them recover. We pump prime the recovery and rehabilitation of the MSMEs. The DTI to the Small Business Corporation set up the Philippine 1 billion COVID assistance to restart enterprises or CARE program to provide zero interest loans
Konti pa din.
for MSMEs
Ah.
affected by the pandemic as of July 10, 2020. Over 2,600 loans applications worth more than 182.5 million have been approved. We are optimistic that this initiative will help
Tingin.
our MSMEs stabilize and recover
Ayos na.
from their losses.
O kaya konti pa. Isa pa.
I
Yun.
also
Lala.
join the
May
Bangko
sungay ka dito.
Sentral ng Pilipinas and the banks operating in the country to provide regulatory relief for our MSMEs and allow loan payment extension without incurring penalties and charges.
Ito.
Oo nga, ito.
We need your help to prevent the collapse of companies saddled with accumulated amortization and payables caused by closure of their businesses at the height of the state quarantine period. As we embark on this effort towards inclusive recovery, we should acknowledge that all forms of government support will go to naught if the new MSMEs do not thrive because of lack of consumer support. Ito ang panahon para suportahan natin ang ating mga kababayan na nagdinegosyo at gumawa ng mga produktong sariling atin.
Isa pa?
In the same manner,
Linis lang to.
in tourism and recreation industries, which are among the hardest hit by the pandemic,
Eraser to.
count on our full
Number?
support while we slowly
Oo
try
nga.
to put
Nipisan mo lang eh. Sa, sa likod ba?
in your local
Ito?
travels, the national government agencies
Yung likod.
and
Tama na yung
LGUs
nipis.
must harmonize their policies to boost tourism, ensuring everyone's well-being. We join our people to help boost the economy by traveling locally. Once
Ito, ito.
the
Dito.
necessary
ganito.
systems are in place, the DOST offers its enterprise technology upgrading program to enable businesses to access training that will help them transition to online and contactless operation. Now more than ever, we need to protect our consumers. I direct the Department of Trade and Industry to ensure the empowerment of Filipinos on consumer rights and coordinate strategies
Ito, napapatayin ko lang.
between public and private organizations in building a fair, safe, resilient, and sustainable economy. There are welcome developments for commerce and industry, but major economic activities take place in borderless environment with the meager regulatory controls. They expose consumers to various risks related to security, data, privacy, and misrepresentation. We must patrol the country's cyberspace and enforce online consumer and data protection and privacy laws. We must run after
Yan ay
online
bonus pa din.
scammers and those undermining the people's trust on the online transactions. We must continue to protect Filipinos in the normal and remind the world that we are responsible stewards of data. I am committed to protect both physical and digital lives of our law-abiding countrymen.
Ang kailangan
The
pang bawasan
national
to.
government shall lead the way
Oh, okay na to.
Ito.
in our transition to online systems. I reiterate my call for all government
Hindi pa
instrumentalities
tapos.
to implement systems that shall make physical viewing a thing of the past. Panahon na para mawala na ang tila para mapagsilbihan ang gobyerno ng walang kahirapan para tao.
Ito, nipisan.
The DILG, DBM, and the ARTA, along with all agencies and instrumentalities of government, are hereby directed to make full possible services available online. We need to adjust and adapt a paperless type of business and work performance. We need governance. E-governance are people with the services they need and the comfort of their homes and the workplaces. It will enable us bureaucracy to better transition into the new normal and cut red and minimize red tape. Until the COVID-19 vaccine is available, I will not allow the traditional face-to-face teaching
Sa baba.
or learning unless the risk of exposure to the sickness are eliminated.
Pag ano.
I cannot and will not put to rest the health and lives of our students and teachers. So yung
Ganito mo, kaya mo.
2 weeks ago,
Yung ganito. Ganyan mo.
I seem to have said
Idikit mo to dito, tapos ganyan mo.
I would allow the
Paganda?
face-to-face
Tapos?
classes to resume.
Okay.
We were talking actually of January.
Oh, ito dapat. Ito, mas maganda.
Because my thinking is that by September,
Oo,
we would have the
para
vaccine.
magpantay siya.
How to get it from the producers or from other governments is really something which we have to deal with because everybody, it's a global need. And everyone
Hindi ko nakikita kasi yung gagawin na, nakikita ko yun.
But,
Oh, yung,
Kaya rin sa kamay paano? Ganyan.
let me just
oh, parang nakapatong siya.
mention it in passing that about
Yan, ganyan.
4 days ago, I made a
Yan, o, di ba? Nakuha mo. Tapos ito, konti. Ganon lang.
President Xi Jinping
Saan?
Dito banda, nipisan mo.
that if they have the
Ganun din?
vaccine,
Oo.
can they allow us to be one of the first, or if it's needed, if we have to buy it, that we will be granted
Makita.
credit so that we can normalize as fast as possible. Life that is lost is lost forever.
Ito lang yun. Mamaya, sorry.
Causes that are
Ayan.
not substantial can be supplemented.
Okay, pantay mo na lang siya rito eh.
Education that is delayed can be recovered.
Ito.
We must
Lupitin mo to,
implement
sa taas.
online learning, modular learning,
Amin na ako.
TV and radio-based broadcast,
Oo.
which students coming from
Para
different
gumanon siya.
backgrounds can avail.
Yan.
DepEd will provide the printed modules for those who cannot afford online learning.
Yung
In
taas. Ito lang.
support of the learning continuity program through blended learning, we plan to
Ito,
increase
yung tuktok. Ito.
the number of schools with ICT
Yung
equipment
naka...
in the coming months. The DepEd and the DITC are building up the public education network or
Ganon yung
thread
gunting mo.
that will connect all
Iganon mo.
public
Huwag mo ihiga kasi
schools
tatamaan to.
and
Dapat iganon mo
DepEd
siyang konti.
offices nationwide. We will prioritize the connection of all last mile schools and those with no electricity supply can have it via satellite and energized via solar
Ano
panels.
ba?
By 2022,
Wala na.
before I step down, the pen
Konti-konti lang.
shall be realized. I'm referring to the program.
Yan.
I will do it.
Ito lang sana eh.
TV frequencies
Makapal pa siya,
reverted
dapat may
back
pisa.
to government for whatever
problem.
cause or reason shall not be
Yeah.
used exclusively to the exclusion of other persons or other dummies to cope up with the demand of the next normal. This will be used to provide uninterrupted quality education
Konti pa.
to our
Yan.
children and our shift to e-learning. I am directing Secretary Guevara, Secretary De La Peña, and Secretary
Sa
Onasa
likod, ayos na.
in collaboration with Secretary Briones and Secretary Abisado, together with Secretary Dominguez, to come up with an integrated program and implementation mechanism to ensure that these TV frequencies are fully utilized by government through the facilities of the PTV4 for the utmost benefit of the Filipino people. Let me just allow me to segue a little bit. For the remaining 2 years of my term,
Okay, yung reason.
all that is good
Kaya ta?
that belongs to government, whether it be the airwaves, whether it be the lines, or whatever that is
Oh,
good for the people,
Bye-bye! Thank you for
to
watching.
the government, and it should be government who should be given the first option to utilize them. Ang
Tayo.
sobra kanila. I call on our communication company